No, there's a 1 in billions chance that this is base reality.
Is this world a simulation? In 2001, a paper was published in a certain journal with the title, "Are You Living in Computer Simulation?" 40 years ago, the games we could play were simple 2D games like Galag. But now, we have games with incredible graphics and VR that makes us feel like we're in another world. The age of our universe is 13.8 billion years. 40 years is just a fleeting moment in comparison. So what will happen to these simulations 1,000 years from now, or even 1,000,000 years from now? Even if the rate of technological advancement in the future slows down to 1% of what it is now, as long as technology continues to advance, we will eventually be able to create virtual worlds that are indistinguishable from reality. Do you agree with this premise? Then there is a problem here. A virtual character that is implemented down to each neuron in the brain will feel that their own world is real, and scientific technology will continue to develop in the virtual world they live in. Then, their technology will eventually be able to create a simulation that is indistinguishable from their reality. This means that once we create a virtual world, another virtual world will be created within that virtual world. And within that, another virtual world will be created. An almost infinite number of virtual universes will be created. So, how can we be sure that this has not already happened? We cannot be sure. In fact, Elon Musk says with 99.99% probability that this world is a simulation. This is not because he has certainty. It is certain that countless simulations exist. But among the countless simulations, there is only one real reality. If there are 1 billion worlds, only one of them will be real. That's why he said the possibility of this world being a simulation is 1 in a billion.
And this is a game.
No, there's a 1 in billions chance that this is base reality.
What do you think?
Well, I think it's 1 in billions.
Okay.
The author of this paper, Nick Bostrom, says there are 3 possibilities. 1. Before we acquire the technology to create simulations, humanity may face an inevitable catastrophe, such as nuclear war or a devastating disease, leading to the extinction of the human race, and thus preventing the creation of virtual worlds. 2. Despite having the technology to create simulations, we may choose not to create them for various reasons. 3. Alternatively, it is also possible that our current reality is itself a simulation. Elon Musk, on the other hand, hopes that this world is a simulation, as if it is not, we are likely heading towards extinction. And even in the future, when humans have the technology to create simulations, it seems unlikely that they would choose not to run simulations, because we are already running numerous simulations. So, it is better to hope that this world is a simulation. Although it cannot be proven or disproven that this is a simulation, there is one interesting thing about it. According to the double-slit experiment in quantum mechanics, the wave that the electron was before observation collapses and becomes a particle at the moment of observation. However, interestingly, when we play games like Battlegrounds or Grand Theft Auto, which have implemented environments similar to reality, we control the character to move around, and no matter which direction we look, we see objects and the world. Therefore, it seems like we are seeing that world within the existing world. But in reality, there is nothing existing behind the direction that the game character does not see. Games do not pre-implement the world to run high-capacity games efficiently. Instead, the space that the game character does not see is not pre-created. And it only appears when the game character observes it, which is much more efficient. Similar to how the waveform electron becomes a particle at the moment of observation. There is an absolute law in our universe that does not change. No material can be faster than light. This is similar to the speed limit in our universe. Therefore, no matter how much technology advances in the future, no matter how fast our spacecraft becomes, we cannot reach the galaxies outside our own. But we know that there are other galaxies out there. We know that the Big Bang happened 13.8 billion years ago. However, no one has visited those galaxies, and no one was there 13.8 billion years ago. Then why do we believe that there was a galaxy there and that the Big Bang happened 13.8 billion years ago? The reason is that we have information that tells us about the existence of galaxies and the occurrence of the Big Bang in the past. Information is the only thing we have. James Gleick, the author of The Information, says that the ultimate nature of the universe is information. But there was one more thing that was not mentioned in the double-slit experiment in quantum mechanics. In the experiment, it was said that when a wave-like electron is observed, it becomes a particle. even if we do not directly observe it, if we can know which slit the electron passed through. For example, by examining the remaining traces on oxygen particles placed on one of the slits, then the electron becomes a particle instead of a wave. So, what is important here is not whether we observe the electron directly or not. What really matters is whether we can know the information about them. Whether the electron becomes a wave or a particle is already determined when we place oxygen particles on the slit. Regarding this, theoretical physicist John Archibald Wheeler said, "It from bit. Is this world really composed of information? Is information the only substance in the world we live in? In the Bible, it is said that when God created humans, He created them in His own image. Perhaps the God who created this world may really have the form of a human."